So Pokemon.com has been putting out some really great articles this past year on their site, and for October they did one talking about some of the spookiest locales in the series. There's the usual candidates like the Pokemon Tower or the Strange House, but one big surprise to me was seeing Kanto's Pokemon Mansion. I've always thought it was a creepy place, but not a ton of people talk about it like they do the other locales. So in the spirit of Halloween, I'm gonna talk about why I find this area so ominous and why its backstory keeps on making me think. Pokemon Mansion. What was once a place of modern science and new ideas is now an abandoned husk riddled with regret and broken dreams. Gone are the original researchers, and in their place, wild Pokemon run about and burglars and scientists trying to steal the mansion's spoils. In Japanese, burglars go by the title Post-Fire Burglar and scientists by Researcher Gone Astray, making it sound even seedier. The music obviously makes this area creepier. It's only ever used here and it just has this tense, chilling feeling with the rapid beeps and boops and random loops. Gives me goosebumps and instinctively makes my eyes dart all around the place. It's like it's telling you something very unusual happened in this mansion and you should not be here. The only reason you're here in the first place is to find a key to open the gym next door. You didn't sign up for this. The wild Pokemon found here are also unsettling, made up of urban Pokemon or ones that had a human influence. Things like Raticate, Grimer, and Muck, coughing and wheezing, and Ditto. Always wondered why Ponyta and Growlithe were here instead of a grassland area, though since Cinnabar has a fire motif coupled with the state of the place, a couple of fires likely broke out here in the past. I found it extra creepy the house contained wild Magmar though. In the first generation, this is the one and only place they can be found in the wild, exclusively in blue. Can you imagine going into an old abandoned house and on top of giant rats and living toxic bombs, you also run the risk of bumping into fire monsters in the basement? Yeah, Magmar's only found on the 3rd floor and basement levels, which I'd imagine are pretty devoid of light too. You know, I really want to see an artist's rendering of this just to see this scene brought to life. Then there's all the mystery behind the creation of Mewtwo, explained in short journal entries that start off sounding like a pretty successful experiment, only to take an unexpected turn for the worst by the last entry. That said, it's all pretty messed up from the beginning. Scientists managed to find a Mew in the jungle and bring it back to Kanto to tamper with its DNA, with the Mew giving birth to some altered Mew they experimented on further to create Mewtwo. Definitely not like how it was in the anime, though both versions claim they didn't get it right on the first try. And then after over a year of progress, things get bad when Mewtwo gets out of control. We don't really know what it did, all we know for sure is that Mewtwo had violent tendencies. And if we're to go off the adaptation in Mewtwo Strikes Back, I'm willing to bet some people didn't make it out of that scuffle with their lives. The Japanese version of the final journal entry sells it even better, saying, "The Pokemon Mewtwo is far too powerful. It's no use. I cannot control it!" 3 years later in Gold and Silver, the mansion was completely destroyed when Cinnabar's volcano erupted. So not only does the place no longer exist, but all those documents and scientific findings are just lost forever now, if they weren't swiped up by anyone else before that. And the Mew they caught might have escaped, but I'm not so sure about all the other Pokemon that lived there. Now I could go on about other things like Mr. Fuji's role in the story, or why it was necessary for me as a trainer to find the key in there when Blaine could just, you know, leave the door open. Did he pull the same thing with Blue or every other trainer that came to his gym? But I just wanted to talk about Pokemon Mansion and why I think it's so creepy. Science always makes for a good scare. I'll never get tired trying to fill the gaps where the story trails off, and it makes for one of my favorite bits of lore to come out of the series. Make sure to check out the rest of the article and see what else they got on that list. It feels nice to have a reason to go to Pokemon.com semi-frequently again. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go read up on Faraway Island again and wonder if it's actually part of South America. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this short little video, be sure to give it a like, share it with a friend, subscribe, check out all my social media pages, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And be sure to tell me what location for Pokemon you find to be the spookiest and why. And I've also got a Patreon page, so if you want to check out behind the scenes stuff and weekly blogs and things like that, just check the link in the description and you'll find out everything you need to know. And while you're here, feel free to check out some of the videos I got on the screen for you. I really liked making them, maybe you'll like watching them. And with all that said, I will see you guys next time. Later!